There's my little girl. Christmas Day, being filmed with a new camera. And we come outside here and I see some holes in the ground. There's one. There's another, you can't see it too good there. There's one there. Another one here. And right next to it is another one. I've never seen them before. Hi everybody. Well, it's a few days later since I started this video outside with Ginger, and I'm here this afternoon, kind of worn out, going back out again here real soon to double check things a little bit, and then gonna get cleaned up for the day. So no, I'm not in full makeup whatsoever. My hair's not combed, and I just felt that I have my glasses on top of my head, which is typical when I'm running around here doing things and maybe need to grab my reading glasses to read directions on a bottle or whatever. I keep them on my head like this, or when I'm doing hand sewing, whatever. So this is what you're getting today, okay? But I was rather alarmed the other day. It was Christmas Day. I had Ginger out on the side yard, and that's when I noticed these holes in the yard that I showed you, and they were throughout the yard in different places. So I actually took pictures of them, snapshots with my new camera, and I'm not sure where I should be looking here. If I should look over here or at the screen. Oh, and this my new camera has the screen that you can tilt either direction. So I'm kind of looking at the screen right now. I guess this will be kind of an experiment to find out where I'm supposed to look, the camera lens or the screen. But anyway, I can see myself on the screen and see if I'm in focus, and you know what, I'm blind as a bat anyway, so it kind of looks like I'm in focus. And when I say blind as a bat, I can't see things close up really. It's just your normal vision, aging vision, you know. But other than that, I can see pretty good at a distance. But anyway, getting back to this issue that we have, I came inside after taking Ginger out for her little stroll, and after seeing those holes in the yard, and I started doing some research online. Thank goodness for YouTube, you know. And I didn't know what the issue was, but I just put in, we did in the area, I've known that there are issues with moles and gophers. We haven't had an issue with them at all, but other people have in our area. So I went looking to see, well, what do gopher holes and mole holes look like? And they didn't look like this. Along with those articles, they listed information regarding voles. And I thought, what the heck is that? I'd never heard of a vole. Well, now I know what a vole is, and I think that's what our issue is. The holes, they showed the same exact type of hole that I have in my backyard. You know, it's about a 1.5 to 2 inch diameter hole. We had several. And they don't cover the hole at all, and there's very little dirt scratched out from the hole. That was very similar. And then they described that these voles eat roots, the root system of your grass, trees, plants, anything in the yard that they can get to. They live off of that. And they like fruit too, for some reason. So if you were growing like fruit trees, it would attack those. Where these holes were in the backyard were very near the mimosa tree that we have, and near that mimosa tree is my bird feeder and bird bath, specifically my bird feeder. And there were several channels that I watched that did say that, well, if you've got a bird feeder in your backyard, you need to get rid of it because the voles are attracted to it. The birds or the squirrels, you know, spill seed onto the ground, and the voles are going to eat that seed. Okay, so after doing a lot of research, Christmas afternoon. That was Christmas Day afternoon. The day after Christmas, we went to our neighborhood Lowe's, and we did some more research there and talked to some of the salespeople, and we came away with one item that we're going to try and use it very diligently to try and eradicate the problem we have. Don't know how many, well, I'm sure it's voles, but I don't know how many there are in our backyard. We got a few canisters of this. It is made by Victor, and it says it kills moles and gophers, but we were told it would work on voles as well. So we're going to give it a try. They are poison peanuts, and they're little pellets that you snip off. This is one canister that is completely full. It's never been used. And you snip off the top, and then you pour the granules into the hole. And you can lightly cover the hole too. You have to wear gloves when you're doing this because you don't want to, get the poison granules on your hands or dust on your hands. Also, you don't want to have your scent on any of the granules that go in the ground because that will deter the voles from eating anything. So anyway, it said you can lightly cover the holes. I did just a little bit, some of them, not all of them. And I did several holes. There were like a dozen holes out there, and I did several of them, if not all. And let that set. I kept Ginger out of that yard too. Even though the poison pellets, I was very careful not to get any spillage in the yard itself, like around the holes on the outside. Everything went into the hole, and I made sure it went as deep as possible, So anyway, I did keep her out of that part of the yard just in case. And I even sprinkled a few of them though on the other part of the yard underneath the shed, underneath our storage shed, because when we got Christmas goods out of the storage shed, I noticed signs of, I thought mice. Well, it could have been the voles I saw signs of. Now that we have signs of other activity in the yard. So I put some underneath the shed. She can't get under there, and none spilled out as I was doing it. I really was very ultra careful in putting this poison out because, for one thing, I don't want to hurt her whatsoever, and for another thing, I don't want to hurt my squirrels. And there are cats, stray cats that roam our backyard too. They jump over the fence and come into the backyard every now and then. I don't want them to get hurt either. So I'm very careful in using this poison. And I don't like the idea of having to poison the little critters. I haven't seen them, but I sure didn't want to trap them. That was another alternative. No, I don't want a live trap either, where you trap the voles and then take them somewhere out in the country or whatever and release them. And it's like, I don't know where to release it, for one thing. We don't live near fields or country or anything like that. And for another thing, I'd be releasing it in another area and giving somebody else the same problem I was getting rid of, So, nah, I just figured this was what we needed to do right now to take care of our problem. And once it is taken care of, then there was another means that I saw on another channel where you can do a preventative measure against voles, moles, gophers, the whole works. And we're going to do that. And that is doing up a mixture of castor oil and water and spraying it on your yard, every so often. The smell of castor oil deters those little critters. They cannot stand the smell of it. Well, I can kind of understand that because I do remember taking castor oil when I was much, much younger. I remember the smell of it, and I definitely remember the god-awful taste of it. So, okay, if castor oil will help prevent the problem coming about again in the future, I'll do it. I will get some castor oil. I don't know if it's the same type of castor oil I took as a kid, but I'm almost assuming castor oil is castor oil, so we'll see. I'll be double checking on that too. So anyway, we poisoned the holes that I found in the yard and did that the day after Christmas. Now this weekend we've gone out and double checked where I put the poison, and the holes that I put it in look pretty like they hadn't been used or like they hadn't been used or the holes that I kind of brushed in dirt a little bit had not been redug out, but there were new holes. So I put some more poison down into the new holes too. There were only about, I'd say 6 new holes, so I didn't think that was too bad, not compared to the like almost a dozen holes previously. So I did those 6 holes, and we'll wait a couple more days and go out and see how that does. But these holes, you know, besides the fact that these little critters can eat the root systems off of your vegetation in the yard, those holes are deep enough so that when Ginger is walking out in that yard, she can step in that and her foot can go down in, and she can either, you know, twist her little paw or her leg or something like that. It is a hazard. So that's another reason why I want these little critters to be gone. I want them out of my backyard. And once we do know that they are gone, then yeah, we'll go about filling these holes up with some fresh dirt. But until then, I take her out and I watch her, and I kind of keep her out of that area where the holes are located right now, just to be safe. And I still haven't seen any little critters. I don't want to see any little critters, because if I did, I probably would really feel terrible about doing this to them, but it has to be done. It just has to be done, okay? So, oh, and another thing about these voles, all of the channels that I watched talked about their reproduction, and they did say that these little critters reproduce quickly, like almost every 21 days. That is why we are acting on this immediately. I don't want a bunch of little babies floating around my backyard, you know, eating the roots of my grass and trees and stuff like that. Well, they even eat the bark on the trees. So no, I don't want that. So hopefully we are catching it in time and won't have to deal with the problem for very much longer. You know, we'll see. I will keep you up to date, okay? But this is what I've been doing this weekend. This is what we've been concentrating on. This is what we have been trying to eradicate around here. And like I told William just a little bit ago before starting the video, I said, you know, it seems like when you're a homeowner, there are all sorts of little things like this that come up all the time. And you can be going very smoothly for so long, no problems, you know, just sailing along, smooth as can be. And then all of a sudden it's problem, 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 problem. You just have to deal with it one at a time. That's all you can do. And that's what we do. And no other issue is going on right now but these darn little critters. So this is what we're concentrating on. And after they're taken care of, who knows what's going to happen. But hopefully we'll have, you know, a little while of freedom from any problems around here. But that's home ownership, you know, that really is. But anyway, that's what I've been doing this weekend. I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you've had more fun at your weekend than I've had at mine, for sure. But anyway, you all take care out there. We'll be talking again real soon, but it's bye for now. And I am off to hit the showers.